Okay, so hi everyone, thank you for joining in. Today's session is about LinkedIn, how to write viral posts on LinkedIn. So basically, we are going to talk about the content creation on LinkedIn platform, and today we have Mishka Rana with us. Hi, Mishka.
Hi Harshita, thanks for having me here.
Great. So you can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, totally.
Great. So let's start with a brief introduction of yours, and then we can take up some questions from my side and then from the audience side.
Sure. So, hi everyone, I'm Miss Karana. I'm a freelance content writer, copywriter, and a LinkedIn personal branding strategist. I help people to level up their LinkedIn game and leverage their social media. So previously, I've worked at Byju's and Vice Media, but currently, I've recently begun with my freelancing journey. That's all about me.
Great. So let's start with the questions. Firstly, on LinkedIn, when we make a profile, so the first thing that we often do is creating a making our network with other people and connecting with them, right? So what do you think that according to you, what type of people we should get connected with this on this platform?
So first of all, I would start with the mistake that I committed here. So when I made my account, I kept on adding every request that I used to get, and that resulted in a mixed audience where there were people from all professions. So what I would suggest is that the first the first step is to connect with the target audience. So these are those people who would want your services and where you would generate the leads. Second are those people who are from the same niche as you and are already creating content on LinkedIn. So there you get to learn more about the field and you can learn from their content. Plus, when you engage with those creators, you increase your visibility and network. Third, if you are a job seeker, like this was for freelancers, if someone is a job seeker, he can connect with HRs and the heads of the departments to reach out to them and the company pages for more opportunities. So it really depends on the motive, in my opinion. Plus, the first 5,000 connections that you add in your profile play a very vital role in your engagements. So, the first 5,000 connections have to be from your target audience and from your niche.
Right. And like I have also seen that there's a large difference between the uh, engagement or
Exactly.
likes and comments rather than
Yeah.
the followers. Like someone having 20 or 30,000 followers, but only uh, like less than 100 likes or comments having engagement on it. So that actually matters that you have the right target audience on place from whom you are interacting with, and they are interacting to you.
Right, because whenever you post, your post is being shown to a smaller proportion of the audience that is already there in your profile. And if half of them is dead or not from your niche, so they won't engage with your post. And then the engagement that our post gets in first 30 minutes to 1 hour, that decides the reach of our post. So that would hamper our reach.
Okay, so after getting the right people on, yes, after getting the right people, the next part comes is of preparing and posting the content. So, what's your way of preparing and posting the content for LinkedIn, and what are your suggestions on this?
So I usually create my posts in the morning, then and there when I have to post. But if someone is busy, like when I was busy earlier, I used to do that whenever I get a point that yeah, this could be posted on LinkedIn. So I just note it down and then I prepare it. But one more thing that can be done is like you can sit on a weekend or any day whenever you're free and you can create content for next 15 to 20 days and then just schedule it. So whenever I'm busy with my freelancing work, I just follow this thing. And like if I have nothing to post, I basically share my learnings or experiences, anything about topic of interest that could add value to someone, or my opinion on any trending topic.
Right. So, do you actually prepare your content key like for a week? I have to post around freelancing or around clients, and the next week, or like something scheduling in key. Some days I have to post the learnings, or something. Some days I have to post the resources or anything of the same sort. So, do you plan your content like this, or you just randomly put out ideas and
Yes, so
frame
first,
them in a post? Yes.
so when I started with LinkedIn, I made a schedule that, as you said, that 1 week about this, 1 week about this. So I made it around several topics like social media, freelancing, and content. And I used to post that. But then in the starting, neither I was getting the engagement and nor the reach. So I started with self doubt and etc. So I changed my pattern. I don't follow that scheduling plan anymore. So now I just do that whenever a point comes to my mind, I just note it down and then I create a post on it.
Right. Okay. So I guess we have a question here. Okay, how to predict the virality of the post? That's the post is viral or not. How do you do so?
Yeah. So that really depends on the number of connections you have and the reach that you are already getting. Like if you're getting normally 10,000 views, average 10,000 views on your posts. So if your post goes above 50,000, then surely it is a viral post. So, like, first, what happened? I guess there was a post which went above 50,000, and I thought that, yeah, it is a viral post because there were 600 plus likes, and that was the first post which went viral according to me. So, there were around 50,000 plus views. But now, I think 50,000 views is very common for me because now a viral post for me would be above 2 lakh views. So that really depends on the number of views you're getting right now and the number of connections you have.
Right, and it varies and changes according to person's profile.
Right. Even 1,000 views is viral for someone.
Right, right. Like I have seen a, profile where the person was having just 2,000 connections, and she got like 20 or 30,000 views on a post, and around 2,000 2,000 to 3,000 reactions. So I guess we can consider that a viral post.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Even if you don't get the engagement according to the views, still if you're getting a lot of views, that will also be considered as a viral post in my opinion. Because recently we did it for a client. He just has 200 to 300 followers, and there was a one liner that went viral. So engagement was less, around 300 to 400 reactions, but views were 12,000 plus for someone who has just 3,000 followers. So even that is considered as viral post.
Right. So there we have a question that do you see the viral potential of a post before posting it?
Yeah, actually, whenever, like not always, but when I'm going to post something that I know would go viral, I'm just sure about it that, yeah, this is the topic and this will go viral. Even if I think that won't go, I prepare it in such a way that it might go viral.
So how exactly you plan those posts? Like what exactly goes viral in those posts? This is the main thing I wanted to know from you.
Yeah. So, what I have observed is that there are three factors for virality. The first is relatability. If the connections are able to relate with the post, they would surely engage with the post. Second is controversy. So, if there is a controversy, obviously there would be so many opinions and both sides to it. So, and also being Indian, people like to engage into controversies and stand out there. And the third factor is humor. I think humor always works, and memes are doing great on LinkedIn. Either they are memes or humorous one liners or sarcasm, anything like that. So, these are the three main factors, plus the writing style, the way in which you are writing the story, plus the CTA that you are leaving at the end for people to engage with the post.
Okay.
And one more
Yeah.
factor which I want to add is the emotional factor. So what I have observed is that LinkedIn audience is very emotional, and whenever someone posts a emotional story or an emotional experience, anything like that, there are high chances of it getting viral because people empathize with you.
Right. Okay. There's a question. How you gauge before creating a content that it can go viral? Do you believe in writing tentpole topics or trend topics?
Can you please repeat?
You can see in the chat box. I
Just
guess
a
it's visible.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's by Souvik Chaudhary.
Creating a content that it can go viral. Do you believe in writing tempo? Yeah, so there is nothing like, just a second. So I think there is nothing like trending topics, like writing about trending topics, even if the topic is not trending, but it relates to the audience or it is controversial or has humor or emotion in it. And if you write it in an engaging way with a conversational tone, it has chances of going viral. Plus the time mostly, time doesn't play much important role in this because anyway you would get the engagement, but still time plays some role in it.
Okay, the next question is how to write a good CTA according to you.
Yeah, so according to me, a good CTA is that, like, if you put if it's a normal CTA, half of them would ignore it. Like, most of the people would ignore it and won't prefer answering. So nowadays, I see this annoying and irritating CTA on many content creators posts. They write like, "Follow kar do, please 200 karwa do," and all these are so irritating and very annoying. Like, who would follow you if you will put such CTAs for your personal hashtag? Yeah, so according to me, there should be such a question that really makes the audience think and write their opinion, but not a CTA that would make them overthink. Like, whenever there is a complicated CTA, like, even if you read it, you wouldn't waste your time thinking about the topic for up to more than 3 minutes. You would think that it's a waste of time, let it be. So a CTA should be a normal one. Like, it should be answerable for anyone from a basic person to a person who has knowledge of that topic, so that everybody could answer it and comment.
Okay, so do you contribute this a certain portion to copywriting skill?
I don't think so. Like, if you are a good copywriter, you can write good LinkedIn posts. But even if you are not a copywriter, you can do that.
Okay, right. So yeah, that was the question I had also. Uh, how many times we should post on LinkedIn on an average?
I think 5 times a week is fine. But I post regularly. Mostly, I post regularly. And if you are looking for faster growth or more reach, you can also post twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. That automatically like results in increasing the reach. I did it for 1 week, but only if the content is good. It's not like if you want to post 2 times, you can post anything random that we get. If we are posting engaging content both the times, that really results in faster growth. I don't think it kills the reach of previous posts because both the posts has their own reach and the first 30 minutes or 1 hour, the engagement that you get in first 30 minutes or 1 hour decides the reach of that post. So even if you post 2 times a day, that wouldn't kill the reach of previous one.
Okay. So do you use any tools or any websites to measure how much reach or how much like analytics, LinkedIn analytics you search for? Do you do something like that?
No, I don't do anything like that. I just refer the analytics given by LinkedIn. But there is a tool called Shield for measuring the LinkedIn analytics. It's a paid tool. I haven't used it, but I've seen many people using it.
Okay. Someone is asking any time preference you follow to post.
Yeah, so the time preference I follow is in the morning between 10 to 12. In the afternoon, if it's in the afternoon around 3 to 5, it's if it's in the evening, then around 6. If it's at night, so around 9:30 to 10:30. But that is according to my profile and my connections. So it would be different for everybody, I guess. Like the morning time would be common, but you should experiment with different timings in your profile and check that when your audience is most active and post according to that.
Right, because everyone has a different set of people
Yeah,
connected with. So they have a different time preference whenever they are checking the LinkedIn.
exactly.
So, I had a question that what do you think that the more we are engaging with other people have an effect on what profile visits or what engagements we will get for our page or for our profile?
So I think that our engagement plays the main role in the engagement we get on our posts and the profile views and also the search appearances. Because when you engage with other people, first thing they engage back with you. If not immediately, after some time they would notice you engaging with their post and they would surely engage with your post as well. Most of the people would do that. Secondly, it increases the profile view. Like only if you are adding the meaningful comments on the post or something that adds value to the post. If we are commenting random things like "well said," "I agree," "I strongly agree," "thanks for sharing," this would result in no profile views. It only results if we are leaving valuable comments. So if you leave valuable comments, maybe that someone from their connections notices you, find it's relatable or find it's valuable, and then visits your profile and maybe wants to connect with you, or maybe has some opportunity for you. So that results in increased profile views as well. And especially when you're engaging with influencers, like for example, posts of Gary Vee or Ankur Warikoo, etc. So they already have a huge audience. And if you engage with them, you get noticed by a large number of people who come to that comment section. Especially if you add something valuable there, people automatically like your comment and that stays on the top, which helps you in gaining more and more views.
Okay. Uh, there is a question. To what extent virality helps in getting leads?
Yes, viral. Like whenever a post has gone viral, I had surely got more leads than what I get generally, but not always. But most of the times, it really helps in getting more leads, reaching more people, and getting job opportunities. But then you have to filter out the quality clients from that because everybody reaches out to you, but then you have to decide who you will work with. But yeah, it surely generates a lot of leads.
uh, Also, I have also observed this that we can get some clients from even a comment as well. Like if we
Right,
post a
yeah.
comment, many people can notice and then they can put an inbound lead to the same.
Yeah. Plus, apart from leads, it gets you a sudden increase in the followers. Like if you are taking 1 week to get 1,000 followers, if it's a viral post, you would just get it in one day, maybe. or maybe half day, or maybe in 2 days. It really increases followers by a large extent.
Right. There's a question from my side that you are posting on almost a daily basis. So how is it helping you to get leads for your freelancing business?
So I've been posting regularly, but I have also taken a lot of breaks. So that's why I don't support the sentence that consistency is the key. But yeah, posting regularly helps in reaching more people every day, getting more profile views, and that comes to an end where the result is getting leads. And I won't say that I get leads every day, but I can add that I get them every 2 days maybe. And like it really helps in getting leads. But not just posting, you have to engage as well. And only like I think that it's also depends on the kind of people that are added in your connections.
Uh, yeah. Do you create your posts beforehand or they're impromptu?
No, I don't create them beforehand. Whatever comes to my mind about the topic, I just write it and post it. So most of the times you will see that edited above my post because since I create them then and there, so I mostly have to edit it once. But I would suggest to create them beforehand.
So Debrina asks, how many times have you gone viral, if I may ask?
So that is approximately 18 to 20 times. You can also refer my profile to check that. And it is because of that only that because of going so many viral posts, I got 16K in 4 months. Otherwise, I don't think it was possible to increase followers in a short span of time.
Definitely. So, if you have something else to share in like some real life case studies, if you have, so we would love to know about your story.
Yeah, so one thing that I wanted to share is that just post content without overthinking. When I started, so I used to overthink a lot that will people make fun of me? Will they think she is acting like a guru and giving tips? She's just 20 and giving tips to others, etc. And this is low quality content or this, that, so many doubts. But then I would post it anyway. And after that, after posting, I used to get conscious about the engagements that what if I don't get any engagements on the post? And I used to overthink a lot about it. And I used to tag people in the like first I used to send the post in the DMs to random people so that they would comment. I reached out to a few people for shockingly, none of them actually helped me in leveraging my LinkedIn. So what happened was I used to DM my post to people in the messages, but now I know that that is spamming and that is very annoying. So never do that. After that, I started tagging people in the comments so that they would comment on my post. Even that didn't work out very greatly for me, but yeah, it worked out. So finally, I decided that okay, let me see what happens if I don't tag anybody or I don't send my post to anybody in the DMs. Let me see what engagement I get. And then finally, I started just posting, and I didn't used to worry about the engagement, and gradually it improved, and now it is going amazing. I realized that engaging with other people is the key if you want engagements on your post.
So, if I may ask, like on daily basis, what's your engagement rate with other people? Like how many posts or how many uh, hours you spend in engaging with them?
Yeah, so there isn't a fixed number that I follow every day. But what I used to do in the starting was that I used to comment on every post that used to come in my feed. Be it any topic, but yeah, I would add my comment to that. Apart from there is a rule, one the 135 rule, which a few people follow. Like pick one person, engage for 3 weeks with at least 5 of their posts. So this makes you notice them. This makes them notice you, and even if you reach out to them in the DMs, there are more chances of getting a reply from them since they have noticed you engagement. And if you appear on their feed, there are more chances of getting engagement from them.
Right. Uh, Sovik asks how to create a mindset to create viral posts.
That's a tricky question. I don't think there is a mindset like, yeah, I need to create a viral post. Sometimes you just share what you feel and it goes viral. And many a times you plan a lot that, yeah, this should go viral. I'll write in such a way, and then it doesn't go viral. Maybe because of the timing, because of the algorithm, or maybe because of the content itself. But what you can do is you can make it relatable or controversial or humorous or emotional in order to get it viral.
Like the mindset behind that should be it shouldn't like कि every post I would create should go viral. Right. You should
Right,
not
and that
create
isn't even
posts.
possible
That's
most
even
of the
not
times.
possible, and you should not be in the form key every post I should create should have this number of likes or
Yeah,
this number of
because right,
comments.
that will also hamper the value that you're providing because then your focus would be getting a viral post and not giving value.
Right. So that giving value, I have seen myself that people are creating such valuable posts and automatically their engagement, their followers, everything gets increased. So basically, they're doing some real work and then portraying it on social media, so that actually gets good number of engagement. So I guess that is a good way to actually do some real work and then goes like put it all out on social media.
Right, I agree.
Okay, Deblina asked, with getting viral also comes a lot of negativity and harsh criticism. How do you handle that? Do you avoid or you respond with a savage reply?
Yeah, so in the comments, mostly I replied with a savage comment because it is my post and it is my profile. And if someone looks at the comment section, there should be something that shows them that, yeah, it is not like it's about personality. I don't want to portray personality like I take shit from anybody. So I usually reply with savage reply. It just happened today on my post. It was about is LinkedIn professional in a professional platform or not. And just I saw that the whole of my feed filled
Sorry,
with
your
dances, food,
voice is
recipes.
not audible clearly.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So I was saying that about my today's post. So there was a girl that was not a hate reply, but that was something that was not in like I didn't find it good. She wrote something like "Dear Mishka, may God you" and something like that, and an opposite comment in context of my post. So you can check the reply that it was not savage, but yeah, it was to the according to me. So most of the times, if there is a like if it's too cheap, I ignore it. But yeah, most of the time I reply with a savage reply. So the thing happened that there was
Your
a guy
voice is
who copied
breaking.
my post, and it was exactly what to post. He didn't even change punctuations, he didn't even change the emojis in the post, not on the hashtag. So I commented at his post, but then he was deleting my comments and he was replying very rude replies he was giving me there. So what I did that, like I don't believe in defaming anybody, but then
So I'm
I
audible to
think
you?
yes.
Actually, your voice is cracking a lot. Can you please do something?
Just a second, yeah, I'll change my location. Is it still tracking?
Yeah. Hello.
Is it still tracking or am I audible?
Bit clear now, but yes, थोड़ा सा crack
Okay,
तो है.
yeah.
Maybe some network
Yes.
issue. It's raining a lot
Yeah,
from
maybe.
my side here.
We can
Uh,
switch to data.
okay. So are you complete with the answer
Is it
or
clear now?
yes, it's clear.
Yeah. So I was talking about that copied post. So I wrote a post about it, and like you can check the caption there. So it was like this is XYZ. XYZ copies post from no, XYZ is a personal branding strategist. He's a digital marketer, and all he does is copies post from others. It was something like that. I don't remember the whole caption, and then end line was "Don't be like XYZ." And even I tagged him in all the sentences there, and that post also went viral and received so many responses since he there were both the screenshots attached with that post. And also that person was so idiot that he was commenting on every reply which that post got, and he was still defending himself.
Okay. So someone said yes, said that I read your comment, and it's actually a
Yeah.
savage reply. Okay. Um, yes. Do you recommend use of pictures or any other way to make the post attractive?
Actually, I don't suggest using more pictures, because if your content is strong enough, it would anyway get the engagement, it would anyway get the reach. Also, pictures have less reach than text posts, according to LinkedIn algorithm. So that really kills the reach. But even if you use a picture and the message is strong enough, it would anyway go viral. For example, the if I take my posts, so the post with highest number of reach and highest number of likes is the one which was a picture. It was a meme.
Okay. So yes, I also wanted to ask this question that uh, nowadays I've seen the document posts are also going viral. So what's your take on doing a doing a document post or a simple what we say text post on LinkedIn?
So I have never experimented with document post yet. I was planning to do it, but I haven't done it anyway.
Okay,
But
so
the thing is that documents get more reach than pictures.
right, that's true.
Yeah, but
Uh,
again, coming to the content, if it is engaging enough, it would anyway get the engagement and
right.
reach.
Even I have seen getting like videos getting viral. So on LinkedIn, videos
Yeah,
also get viral.
right.
So that's all
Even I've
about
seen
the
that.
what we say, the content we are publishing, be it any form.
Right.
Example of a document post. Example of a
Example of a
document.
document post are carousels.
Yeah. So I have put a lot of carousels. So that is called a document post where you put a carousel with slides and you put some caption there. So yes. What do you think about case studies?
As in,
Like case studies putting on LinkedIn. If we put the real life case studies of people or something like that, so what kind of reach that would have?
yeah, so if it's a real life case study of a person, and it like if it's about a person, it would surely have emotions and the story, everything in it. And mostly what I've noticed is that it gets good amount of engagement, since people could relate to different parts in the story, or they could learn something from that. So yeah, it works great. Even with me, it worked great.
Okay, so that was all the questions I had, and we were taking the audience questions as well. So if anyone has any more question, they can put it out. We are waiting for just 2 more minutes. According to recent LinkedIn algorithm, carousels get more engagement. Right, so you can experiment back and forth with carousels and text posts on LinkedIn. Yes, Mishka, do you have any other thing to share with us on this topic?
Um, One thing, okay, we discussed about the time, right?
Right.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to add about LinkedIn is that whatever you are, if you are a student or a freelancer or a job seeker or a business person, LinkedIn is a gold mine for all of us. And like LinkedIn plays so many roles. It's a like it generates leads, it acts as a salesperson, it acts as a mentor, it we get so much to learn from LinkedIn. It acts as a networking app. We get to network with so many good people out there. It also acts as a HR since it helps in getting jobs. So I think that starting with my LinkedIn journey was the best decision that I ever made. That made me start my freelancing journey. That made people recognize me as a freelancer that and my services that I'm doing right now. So I think it is amazing. Plus, if you are on LinkedIn and you are not networking with people, please start it right now.
Yes, so this was the thing I wanted to ask, that when did you started your LinkedIn journey? Like your first post
So
was
I started, yeah. So I posted one or two posts in January, but then I stopped, and then I began in March, I guess.
and when did you made your profile?
It was 1 year back. So I just made it and I left it as it is. I wasn't active at all, and this year I started it. Like I started for a few days, I stopped again, and then I started. Yeah.
Yes. So someone is asking.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now. Will you say to create or utilize all the 3,000 characters?
Well, I don't support that. And I have never even used total 1300 characters. That was the older limit. Just my opinion, it's according to you. Since I never read long posts on LinkedIn, it is a waste of time. Plus, it is so complicated and lengthy that I don't feel like reading longer posts. But if it's a story, it will surely take more words. Apart from that, like there should be something triggering that makes me read the content. Otherwise, I mostly don't read them. And with my posts also, I usually keep them short.
Okay. And what do you think about the creator mode? Does it lessen the reach of the post?
So I think that it depends on the profile. For some people, it has worked great, including me. When I switched on my creator mode, I think I was around 10 or 11K. Yeah. And it has worked great for me. I don't know that uh, have my views increased because of that, have my followers increased because of that or the content. But yeah, there is nothing negative that has happened after turning it on. But with most of the people, it has killed their reach after they have turned on the creator mode. So you can turn it on and experiment. And if you notice something weird is happening, it is hampering the growth, you can switch it off.
Right. Okay. And lastly, you can share your LinkedIn ID here so that people can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure. I think Sovic is already connected there.
Okay. So basically, you can search her name and connect with her on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
ask any more questions if you
If you
have.
need any help regarding anything, I would be so happy to help you.
And with this, I guess we can end with the session now. What do you think, Mishka?
Yeah, sure, if we don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I don't find any more questions. That was all we had. Thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you Mishka for the session. It was insightful, and we got to know some new things from you. So I hope you enjoyed that as well.
Thank you, Harshita. Thank you, everyone. And thanks a lot for joining. And thank you, Harshita, for having me here. It was great interacting with you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next session soon.